And we're good to go? Okay. Good evening and welcome to the Lincoln County Courthouse. This joint meeting between Lincoln County and the City of Sioux Falls Planning Commission will begin with a few remarks. This meeting is being streamed live, and when adjourned and posted, it will be at lincolncountysd.gov. The order of events tonight will be as follows. For each public hearing, staff will introduce the agenda item and present a summary of the staff report. The applicant will then be asked to explain their proposal in further detail and to explain and to answer any questions from the County Planning Commission and the City Planning Commission. I will then open the floor to public comment, first for persons in support of the application and then for persons in opposition of the application. When you step up to the podium, please state your name, address, and speak into the microphone. Please limit your comments to less than 5 minutes. Thank you for your cooperation. All right, County Planning Commission and the City Planning Commission will first do a roll call. County Planning Commission members, please state your name for the record.
Colin Instead.
Todd Boots.
Mr. Green, are you with us?
Scott Green online.
And Commissioner Jungling's here. City of Sioux Falls.
On the city side, will the commissioners state their name that's present at the meeting?
Erica Mullally.
John Paulson.
Dave Van Nieuwenhuizen.
And Aaron Norman.
All right, thank you. We have a quorum for the night. All right, the commissions will now approve the meeting minutes. There's a motion from the County Planning Commission for the minutes of February 12th, 2025.
So moved. Boots.
Second Instead.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion? None. I'll do roll call. Commissioner Ensted?
Yes.
Commissioner Boots?
Yes.
Commissioner Green?
Yes.
Commissioner Jungley is also a yes. City of Sioux Falls?
On the city side, look for a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve Mullally.
Second Paulson.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries on the city side.
Thank you. All right, now we'll look at the meeting agenda. Mr. Brown, are any changes to the agenda?
No changes, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. With that, I'll ask for a motion from the County Planning Commission.
Motion to approve Instead.
Second Boots.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll do roll call. Commissioner Ensted?
Yes.
Commissioner Boots?
Yes.
Commissioner Green?
Yes.
Commissioner Jungley is also a yes.
On the city side, I'll look for a motion to approve the regular agenda.
Motion to approve Mullally.
Second Paulson.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll look, all those in favor signify by yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries on the city side.
Thank you. Now we get to my favorite part of the meeting is public input and non-agenda items. This time for anyone that has non-agenda items, please step forward. Seeing none, I'll close the floor to public input. Mr. Brown, can we talk about our first conditional use permit?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Toby Brown, representing County Planning. This item before you this evening is a conditional use permit application. This is an application for a billboard over 288 square feet in size. So the subject property is approximately 2,500 feet to the southwest of Sioux Falls corporate limits. It's right off the intersection of County Highway 106 and Interstate 29. Subject property is Zone C commercial. As you can see, adjoining property to the east and the south is like zoning. The property to the west would be South Dakota DOT right-of-way for the interstate exchange. Subject property is developed with an existing, what I'll call a warehouse type building, and then an on-premise sign that staff's kind of researching kind of the history of that sign. There is no existing off-premise sign on this subject property. This would be looking, the one looking to the south would be looking directly more towards that property, the subject property. So the applicant did submit an application to county staff to do an off-premise sign on the property. Again, off-premises signs over 288 square feet do require conditional use through the joint zoning regulations. The applicant is proposing a 448.4 square foot sign to be located on the property. This would be a one-sided digital sign. If you're traveling west on that route, the sign would be facing to the east as you're traveling. Since this is within the South Dakota DOT jurisdiction, they don't allow a double-sided sign. Upon annexation to either the city of Sioux Falls or the city of Harrisburg, whichever one gets there first, then the DOT jurisdiction would then allow a double-sided sign to go there. But as proposed, this would just be a one-sided digital sign. My understanding is this is a sign that would be designed by Daktronics, so there wouldn't be a pulsing digital. It'd be more of just kind of a static digital part with it, but the applicant can talk a little bit more about that. So as far as staff's review of this application, we did spend some extensive time discussing with the applicant, with city staff regarding the proposal. What's unique about this property, Sioux Falls Planning Commission is probably more aware of this, is that the city of Sioux Falls and the South Dakota DOT or the state of South Dakota are working on essentially creating Veterans Parkway through this area. So there is some discussion with landowners in that area requiring additional right-of-way. And so part of this property is going to be, is the state of South Dakota and the city of Sioux Falls are working to acquire part of this property. So we have had some extensive discussions with the South Dakota DOT as well. As far as staff analysis, we really looked at kind of the jurisdiction regulations that we have, which is under the joint zoning regulations. This area is really not a protected area for roadside kind of visibility and those different types of things. So there really isn't any restrictions to what, and as far as the regulations would be there. This is a highly developed commercial industrial area. So there is additional signs that are within that area, but it does meet all of the state requirements. We do have state approval on the actual sign, is what I'll say. So we did post the property as of this period. We haven't had any comments from any individuals regarding this application. We did include the City of Sioux Falls staff did a staff review of this application. We did include that in the packet as well. They concur with county staff's recommendation of approval with the 6 conditions that were placed in the staff report. We're bumping it to, as I mentioned, this is a proposed 448.4 sign, but we're bumping it to 450 square feet would be the maximum size for this particular sign. The other 6 conditions are pretty, or the other 5 conditions for the 6 total are pretty standard type conditions. But as I mentioned, this is kind of a multi-jurisdictional area with future expansion with the city of Sioux Falls. Staff would propose a 7th condition that we did include in the staff report. And that 7th condition would read, prior to building permit issuance, the final sign location shall be approved by SDDOT and Sioux Falls engineering staff. So as I mentioned, the city of Sioux Falls and the state are working on acquiring right-of-way and some other additional property there in that area. We want to make sure that the sign gets, when it gets final, final staking and that, we want to make sure that it's outside of the right-of-way essentially. So we just want to add that into there. South Dakota DOT staff have conferred with them. They're aware of that condition. They don't have any objection to that, as well as city staff is aware of that condition as well too. So again, staff does recommend approval of this application with the 7 conditions that I stated there. I guess I'd also like to just thank the South Dakota DOT, specifically their legal staff, for working with us through this process and the multiple departments with the city of Sioux Falls that we've worked through on this. It's really a testament to why joint jurisdiction is needed and why it's valuable. So it's these little individual applications that you really see how important it is that we get together and do these joint meetings and we work together on these applications. So with that, I'll take any questions. Mr. Chair, I'll turn it back to you if there's any questions for staff at this time. Otherwise, the applicant is in attendance tonight to answer any questions that you might have for him.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. City or county staff, do you have any, or commission, do you have any questions for staff?
No.
I guess I had one question, Mr. Brown. Is there any height restrictions on how tall this sign can go?
Not that I'm aware of. other than what the state requirement would be for that sign. But I
Okay.
don't believe is exceeding any height requirement for it, so. But I'll let the applicant
Toby,
talk
you
about it.
indicated earlier that it was a one-sided sign, and then you said if it would get annexed in, it could potentially change to a double-sided sign. So would they have to come back and get a different, or amend this conditional use permit if it would turn into a double-sided sign?
At that time, it would be annexed into either the city of Harrisburg or the city of Sioux Falls, so no, they would not come back for our jurisdiction.
I was just curious
Yeah.
to see of how that would impact this decision, if in the future they would want to make that a double-sided, if that would cause any issues.
It'd be up to the local jurisdiction at
Okay.
that time, yeah. But responding back to your question, is, they are working through the FAA process on the height restrictions for that, but that would be the only height restrictions that would be for that sign in that area,
Okay.
so.
Right, any other questions for staff?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. At this time, we'll ask the applicant come forward. Tell us about your application, please.
Hello, everybody. Stuart Stein from Watertown, South Dakota, representing Stein Sign Display. And we are seeking approval for this application for, as mentioned, a single-sided digital with the intention to convert it to a double-sided at such time the property is annexed into the city of Sioux Falls or Harrisburg. As Mr. Norman had asked and inquired, the height, I believe we've set it at 40 feet, I think is what we had submitted it as. And as of right now, in terms of following all the rules and approvals and checking the boxes, the FAA approval, to my knowledge, is the only piece that we're waiting on at this time. It's just in a pending status. We don't see any reason why it shouldn't be approved, but we're very much rule followers and want to make sure that we don't do anything that is going to get us in trouble down the road. So trying to do our due diligence, and that's the last piece that I'm awaiting pending tonight's conclusion as well. I think that's about it, unless you have questions for me on it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
County, or, excuse me, sir, we might have some questions for you. County Commissioners, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Not at this time.
I have one, please. So have you worked with the DOT or talked to them all about this?
Oh, yeah, yep. They were one of my first, in fact, I think they were my very first point of contact, and a lot of back and forth, and thank you to the legal team as well from the SDDOT. Do have their blessing on it. Does need to be a single-sided digital for now with no backside, and that it meets all of their requirements to my understanding.
And then you'd be okay with the seventh condition of getting DOT?
And City of Sioux Falls Engineering Department's approval, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
City staff, commission?
Doesn't look like any questions on the city side.
All right.
Just a quick note of thanks for being here for me. I appreciate it. Back-to-back meetings, months for these folks. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Everybody's important. All right, with that, I'll ask anybody in opposition of the application come forward. Seeing none, I'll ask anybody in support come forward. Seeing none, I'll close the floor to public input. That was fun. And then I will, while we talk together as a commission about any concerns or anything, then we'll go to each side for motions. Any discussion?
I guess the only thing is, I do like the seventh one added into it, because I've been part of one where it was kind of having to be moved due to the right-of-way with the city of T. It was just purely by accident, but it was staked a little bit off, and it was on another piece of property of somebody else's, and that with the construction of new roads. So I like the point that the DOT in Sioux Falls is helping work this through, so once the sign is up, you don't have that down the road when things are happening. So I don't have any problem with it, and I'll support it.
All right.
Just going to observe that there was certainly a lot of work and communication involved in it. Looking forward to seeing it.
All right, with that, I will ask from the county side for a motion. Commissioner Green, you don't have any comment, do you? I apologize.
No, Mr. Chair, I appreciate that. But I will make the motion to approve with the 7 conditions.
And that seventh condition is you need the DOT and city planning approval for the
Absolutely, yeah.
location and construction of the sign.
Yep.
Engineering.
Or engineering, yeah.
Second, Boots.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll do roll call. Commissioner Ensted?
Yes.
Commissioner Boots?
Yes.
Commissioner Green?
Yes.
Commissioner Jungley is also a yes. City of Sioux Falls?
City of Sioux Falls, I look for a motion on this agenda item.
I'll make a motion to approve with the 6 conditions listed and the 7th condition of location approval by the DOT and city engineering.
I'll second the motion, Paulson, with the conditions as stated.
Any further discussion on city side? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by yes.
Yes.
Yes, opposed? Motion carries on the city side.
All right, great work, everybody. Congratulations. I live right there, so I look forward to seeing your sign.
Really appreciate it, everybody. Thank you.
All right, being no, Mr. Brown, is there any old business to discuss? None? All right, is there any new business? All right, we'll ask for a motion from the County Planning Commission to adjourn.
So moved, Boots.
Second instead?
First motion, a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? City of Sioux Falls?
City of Sioux Falls side, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second Van Nieuwenhuizen.
All those in favor signify by yes.
Yes.
Yes, opposed? Adjourned on the city side.
Thank you, everybody.
Everybody, appreciate it.